Hey, Scrapper Names fans. Welcome back to another 12 by 12 process video. This one is, I guess, kind of showing a way to use I think it's unusually, a busy type background. Now, I love this. I did love this paper. I love the colors. I love the pictures on it. But using it was a little daunting. So, now, what I have is a photo of my daughter snuggled up asleep in my bed, towards the end of last year, I'd say, mid last year. So there's, as you can see, the photos on the side there. There's no really, in-your-face pop kind of colours in it. So I did have a bit of flexibility around, and there's a lot of white from the blanket. So I did have a bit of flexibility around what I could use. So, and as you can see, the background paper doesn't overly relate to sleeping, but she is a preteen girl and very much a preteen girl, so it kind of went that way with me. And as I said, it is quite busy. So what I am using today is, I knew I wanted to use a cut file. I knew from the moment I printed this photo what cut file I wanted to use for her, or for this. Now, I did try printing the cut file, or cutting the cut file, on a piece of coloured pattern cardstock, and it didn't go through my machine very well. I actually thought the paper may have been too thick, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so I ended up just doing it on the white American Crafts cardstock. So in order to use it on this layout, I needed to kind of mount it onto something with a bit of a pop of colour in the background. Hence, you saw I painted it, I added a strip or whatever of a block of paint going down my page. You would have seen that previously, sorry. Love that acrylic paint. It is the, brain is not working, Dina Wakley, is that right? Acrylic paints. They are stunning. I find you only need a little bit. Like, these tubes of paint have lasted me so long. You only need a little bit and it spreads really well. And they're so smooth and vibrant. I just love them. But anyway, so I decided that's how I would go with using the cut file, a white cut file on a background like this. I also added the strip of paint, block of paint, kind of to try and, I guess, draw away a little bit from that busy background. As I said, I love the background. I just found it a bit daunting on my eyes as to how I was going to use it. So I needed to, dull it down a little bit in order to be able to use it. So anyway, that's the background. As you can see there, it's stunning colours. They're absolutely beautiful colours. Anyway, I have just gone through and matted my photo on some various bits and pieces of pattern paper, as you would have seen me while I was chatting away just a minute ago. Some of them are a bit odds and ends, and others, other bits of scraps where I've maybe done a cut file or something like that, and I usually keep them just used for scraps for this purpose. Now, just popped my photo up on some craft foam, again pulling it away a little bit from the background is the idea. I also wanted to tuck my cut file. So this is the cut file. So it says, nope, not today. Which is pretty perfect, being she's all crushed out with her eye mask on and, in bed. But she's also a crazy cat lady, my girl. So this cut file was perfect for her. As you can see, I probably should have stuck the cat piece down before I stuck the photo. It was lucky that I could move it. I had to move quickly because this glue adheres really well, like fairly fast. I had sort of played around with it and probably should have drawn, some marks. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. But it's on there now and it worked. So just using my art glitter glue just to stick it down. And this is pretty much my title. So it kind of becomes almost like a second, third type focal point. The the cut file itself. You've got the background because they're stunning little pictures, and the photo. Even though the photo is not a lot, as I said, it's not very bright. It hasn't got lots of colour. It hasn't got lots happening. She's asleep, but it still tells her story. She's a bit funny. Our girl is sleeping. It spreads out, especially when her father's away. She sleeps in bed with me, and she has a whole side to herself, and she ends up in the middle or on my side when I go to get into bed. So, yeah. Sure, she's not the only child. Now, this cut file was a little tricky because of how fine, like those words, not today, and the fine sort of outline of the cat. I think actually this would be the second or third go at cutting it because one of them was on the pattern paper where it didn't work at all. And I think the other one, when I tried cutting it, I think I had issues with the cardstock maybe tearing a little bit on the finer pieces. Anyway, it's there now. This was my next stumbling block. How to embellish this layout with the background the way that it was. Lots of challenges here today. So my thought was, and I stuck to it, was I used 2 cut apart pieces because they're quite sort of large. Oh no, maybe I didn't end up using that one. No, I didn't. I turned it into a cluster. But I did use for my journaling another piece at the top there. You can see the pink with the rainbow on it. I then am going through with this ephemera pack. I don't know who's it from or where's it by, but I really like the colours in this. It possibly came in the kit that I got this pattern paper in, but I really liked them. However, I wanted some, they're nice, soft, sort of muted colours. They go really well. And I didn't want to add too many florally pieces because of the pictures in the background. They're also surrounded by florals themselves. So, and then I didn't want to overload the page with words. All the first world problems. So what I decided to do is add some little clusters, just small, and then added some of these. You can see the circular stickers. There's a pink one, there's a couple of blue ones, tying in with the colours of the page itself, just to really make those clusters kind of pop. Now, I could have put them, all the embellishments as such on craft foam, for example, but I am trying to minimise the chunk of my albums, as I've said before. So, kept them flat, but as I said, added these colours to pop behind them, just to draw your eye a little bit to them, and pull them away a little bit from the background pictures. Then adding some little word pieces, some brighter colours a little bit too, like that yellow. It says "Love You," and then adding in these printable flowers that I cut out just to add a different element, visual element to the page as well. As I said, it was a bit of a layout that had to get me thinking because it's not something it's not a background I would typically use or typically even purchase myself. It was just that it came in a kit, but I really like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a bit like wreaths. That's the other one. Love the look of them. Excuse me. Love the look of them. Think they're stunning. Especially I've seen a few. I think it's Cocoa Vanilla in some of the collections there, but I struggle to use them. I struggle to embellish the page around it. I've used them. You would have seen I've probably done a few videos with them, but again, it's just another element that, I don't know, for me, it's a bit of a visual challenge, I guess, for me. So just adding some final little touches and pops here and there. Interesting. Leave me a comment. I have a question for you. What do you find challenging when creating a layout? Is it a busy background? Is it a certain piece of ephemera? Certain type of pattern paper like the wreath pattern I was just talking about? Yeah, let me know if you have anything that you either avoid, whether consciously or not, or you just really struggle with. Now, I still wasn't comfortable. Sorry, I have a bit of a croaky throat again. I was not happy with the way that the white looked so flat, the cut file. So I end up getting my black Posca paint pen and outlining it. And then, as you'll see, colour the entire cat in black because it just wasn't enough. And I really like the way that this now pops. It also ties in some of the black element, like the writing, like my journaling, and some of the little ephemera pieces as well. But I really like the way that it turned out. I think that was... I nearly went to outline the nope, not today, and then changed my mind because I think now that was enough with the black cat. But I just think it adds a really good pop to this layout. Anyway, thank you for listening to watching my video and listening to me ramble on. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.